Everyone has an angel, a guardian who watches over us. We can't know what form they'll take. One day, old man. Next day, little girl. But don't let appearances fool you. They can be as fierce as any dragon. Yet they're not here to fight our battles, but to whisper from our heart, reminding that it's us. It's every one of us who holds the power over the worlds we create.
We're in control of this, not some bloody entities shape-shifting themselves around the solid world. We're in control. That's the great secret they don't want us to know. A reflection, a holographic reflection of us. We all live in our own little universes, really. There are points where we share the same basic reality, but we live in our own universes, because what we're putting out is what we're drawing towards us. The question is, how do we change what we're putting out? Martin Luther King said, a man can't ride your back unless it's bent. And then there's the people in dark suits and uniforms. Hey, you got children and grandchildren and families as well. What are you doing serving a control system that wishes to impose a fascist date on your families? What are you going to say to your kids when the control system's here that it's controlling every facet of their bloody lives? Daddy, Mummy, Granddad, Grandma, what were you doing when the control system came in? I was helping to do it, dear. All the best with that conversation. What are we doing? Playing a part in, oh, it's me job. Well, get a bloody another one then. We're going to do this to our children because it's my job. What can we do? We can cease to serve the control system in uniform with a gun in our hands. We can do that. Comply. No. No, no. Not if it's enslaving me and my children and imposing on my freedom. Comply. Leave your home now it's foreclosed. No. No, no. Let's follow this through, shall we? Millions of people in the world are losing their homes, being foreclosed, and ending up homeless. Let's follow this through. Why have you lost your home, my friend? Because I can't pay me mortgage. Why can't you pay your mortgage? Because I lost my job. Why did you lose your job? Because the great banking collapse, they can't get this, they can't get the company went bust. And who's taking your home away and saying you've got to leave? The banks that caused the frickin' problem, and we are leaving? What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, now hold on a second here. There's something about this that ain't right. When we look at this structure, we look there for the power. But why is that there? Because these silly sods are holding it up there. This is the power. They have to persuade them that they have the power, so they don't take the power to bring that crashing down. Fear of bringing it down through fear of not complying. Once we step out of the pyramid and refuse to cooperate with it, no violence necessary, by the way, then the pyramid starts to collapse because we're holding it together. It's a house of cards. That's all it is. Oh, it's the control system. It's a house of cards. Martin Luther King said, cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? But there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but one must take it because it is right. And when enough of us take that stance, everything changes. The revolution is not a revolution of weapons, it's not a revolution of fighting, it's not a revolution of hatred, it's a revolution of perception, because everything changes. I am a lion then. I'm not the lamb I kept seeing in the mirror, and the world kept telling me I was. And then that expresses itself out into the true nature of who we are. And miracles become possible. We're going into the epoch of what we perceive as miracles. It's just a greater understanding of the way everything works. And the system must fail when that happens. We're being offered, the truth vibrations are offering us in this time, the chance to open the key to our minds, the key to our hearts, which have long been closed by so many people. The key to the freedom on a level that we cannot comprehend, because until we open and expand our consciousness, we cannot be aware of the true nature of what freedom is. It's not even what we perceive in this world. Enough of this suppression, enough of this slavery, enough of this enslavement of the few by the many.
We have to fight the New World Order, the Rothschilds, and all the people who try to dominate us in the name of evil. We've got to stick together and fight for our freedom and our democracy.
Who honors those we love with the very life we live? Who sends monsters to kill us, and at the same time sings that we never die? Who teaches us what's real, and how to laugh at lies? Who decides why we live and what we'll die to defend? Who chains us? And who holds the key that can set us free? It's you. You have all the weapons you need. Now fight.
So while 15 years ago he was ridiculed for his prophecies about natural disasters around the world, and now he has a controversial new view about who really is running the world. I'm delighted that he's agreed to come back. David Icke. Thank you, no problem. Thank you. Now, again, when I see that, I'm slightly embarrassed by it, because I thought it was a bit sharp with that comment. So, and at the time I said I didn't mean it to embarrass you. So, that interview at the time, it changed everything for you, didn't it?
Well, it changed everything in the sense of I couldn't walk down any street in Britain without being laughed at by most of the people. Going in a pub, there was uproar. A comedian only had to say my name to get a laugh. And what that does is it reveals to you the level of immaturity that passes for adulthood in this country, whereby clearly a guy was going through an incredible experience. And instead of being mature and saying, why is this guy gone from being this, what you would call straight, normal television presenter, to how he is now? This is interesting. What's happening here? Instead, and I heard the ripples of laughter 16 years on when my name was mentioned. People just laughed. But the other, which gave me a real insight, especially given what I'm doing now in my books, about how easy it is for the few to control the many. Because the many, you know, we laugh at sheep because sheep just follow the one in front. Ah, stupid sheep. We humans have out-sheeped the sheep, because at least the sheep need a sheepdog to keep them in line. Humans keep each other in line. And they do it by ridiculing or condemning anyone who commits the crime, because that's what it's become, of being different. I had a choice, Terry, at that point. I could have ended up faced with that scale of ridicule and ended up shaking in the corner. Or I could have said, as I did, laugh, condemn, I don't give a damn. This is me. And if you don't like me, well, that's bad news, because this is the only me there is. And I refuse to conform and be bowed by the ridicule. And what it does, Terry, when you step out of the little box of what will other people think, how do I put this in a way that people won't think I'm crazy, you then realize how small a box you've actually been living in.
But you do understand that, and I know you do, that you did make yourself a target, because what you were saying was outlandish. It was, by normal standards, outlandish and outrageous, very intense. Just have a look at this.
What about eruption? When may we expect tidal waves, eruptions, earthquakes?
Well, because of the nature of the way the Earth has been treated over a long period of time, a tremendous amount of energy has built up within the Earth that cannot get out. If it doesn't get out, bang. So this is going to be released in a controlled manner, as controlled as possible through earthquakes, through volcanoes and such like. If they don't happen, this is not punishment. If they don't happen, there is no Earth.
You see, you're still obviously bitter about people's rejection of your ideas.
No, absolutely not. What I am is frustrated at watching Orwell's 1984 unfold in front of our eyes by the day, while people focus on who shot Phil Mitchell. That is frustrating, because my children and your children, thank you, are going to have to live, indeed, in the timescale, so are we, because we're living in it now, when the most basics of freedoms are being taken away.
Yeah,
and this is happening all over the world, and it's coordinated. Now, if people want to think that that's all happening by accident, please be my guest. I don't give a damn.
But
the evidence is that it's not. Eh?
If it's controlled, it's not happening by accident. Who is controlling people or trying to control them?
Well, there is a network of families that you can take back to the ancient world, to places like Babylon, Sumer, which is now Iraq. You can chart them through to Rome, where they were responsible for the Roman Empire and the creation of the Roman Church. God save us from religion, by the way. And then they came up into Europe to become the European aristocracy and royal families. Then through the great empires of Europe, especially the British Empire, but others too, these family bloodlines and the secret society network through which they manipulate themselves into power were exported all over the world. And then when the point came where the European colonial powers appeared to give independence to these countries, that was only on the surface. What actually happened was the family bloodlines and the secret society network through which they manipulate was left out in these former colonies, and they've gone on controlling them ever since. So what you have is a hidden hand where events are manipulated, like 9/11, which not just me, but endless other researchers now around the world have taken apart the official story. It insults the intelligence of a 10-year-old. And you have a hidden hand manipulating events, and the whole goal of it is centralization of power to the point where humans are little more than controlled clones.
Who's the hidden hand? I mean, who are these hidden hands?
This network of families I'm talking about. You find that people that are in positions of apparent power, like prime ministers and presidents, are actually puppets of the real power, which doesn't put itself on public display. Why would it? I mean, does anyone really think that George W. Bush is running America? He probably couldn't tie his shoelaces, never mind run a country. Let me tell you this. Tell me about the project for the new American century. Tell me about it.
I know nothing about it.
Exactly. Well, let me tell you then something that you should know about. And this is written down. In the 1990s, an organization was created in America called the Project for the New American Century. The people who created it were the people that have run the Bush administration from the moment it came to power. In the year 2000, in September, the Project for the New American Century produced a report, a document, calling for a series of conquests of countries, one of which was Iraq. He actually says in the document, words to the effect of, we must use the excuse of Saddam Hussein to go into Iraq.
Well, look, can I interrupt?
No, hold a second.
No, but
no.
Honestly, you see this?
See, but this is the thing, Terry, you see.
No, but honestly.
You say to me...
America is an open society, isn't it?
Oh, please.
It's not an open society.
I've got some seafront property in Birmingham, Terry, you might like to buy, mate, honestly. Please. Please.
David.
And they say I'm crazy and weird. America is an open society. My
Well,
God.
I thought in my innocence that most Americans would know what was going on in America.
Oh, God.
But it's all, you know it all, and...
Oh, see, now you talked about cheap jibes. That's a cheap jibe.
No, it's
I'm
not.
not claiming I know it all. I'm saying that I've been to 40 countries. I've spent enormous amount of time in America talking to people who do know what's going on, victims of what's going on, and I'm passing this over to people. Now,
You see how preposterous it is.
What, the fact that you think America's an open society?
No.
Absolutely ludicrous, Terry. I've never heard anything so stupid in my life.
Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. David Icke, thank you. Good luck with your mission.
Pleasure. Thank you.
So join me after the break, and I'll be chatting to Ulrika Johnson about life in the tabloids. You'd be mad to miss it.